Ballroom dance classes lead to getting staked for 8 years. I apologize if I have some errors. English is not my first language and this will be a long post, sorry. For context, I am now 26 and I met my stalker at 14 to 15, so when I was 14 I decided to take ballroom dance classes. That was kind of normal for teenagers in my generation in my country. There you had to change partners each song, so every When I was 16 my family and I had to move because our landlady had thrown us out. She wanted to live in the property herself, so we moved one town over. We started living 2 streets apart from my stalker, and every time Philip was out of the hospital he would be at my house. It was not as often but still, at my father's birthday he rang again, and because my family had guests they told me to. At 20 I was out of school, and to pass the year I had to wait to start my job. I worked in a grade school in a voluntary after-school care club for grade schoolers. After a month or 2 my mom woke me up in the morning and told me to get dressed because she had called the cops. Apparently Philip was again every morning at our door and asked for me, and my parents didn't tell me so I wouldn't get My ex has harassed me for almost 2 years, kinda long. This is my first Reddit post and it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna contain mentions of physical and mental abuse, so this is a TW for everyone. I, 18F, met my ex, M22, in February of 2020 but didn't end up dating him till closer to my 17th birthday because he still lived with his GF. He told me they were just friends and he didn't like her like. Before I met him I had 4.5k in my savings. He ended up using my card to pay his phone bills, car payments, the apartment, daily weed, fast food, new league accounts, and fucking CSGO knives. He kept losing his accounts due to telling people to off themselves and using the F and N slur. But the worst was yet to happen. I found that he was using an old tablet to excessively watch porn, set up dating. Fast forward, he had to move because he had nowhere to stay or live after getting evicted from the apartment, and I had gotten a new job. One day it was particularly cold and I went to get a shirt out of my car and there he was. BM was sitting in my car on his phone. I left the door unlocked usually cause I worked in a good area. I called him a cheater and told him to leave. He got out of the car and Hooded man in the woods. Alright, I spent my entire slow day at work yesterday reading through this sub, so now I want to share my little story. My childhood best friend, Marie, and I were around 11 or 12 years old at the time. Marie's family had their own campsite in a provincial park about 2 hours from our hometown, and would spend the entire summer each year living in their camper out there. We both start to panic, getting that feeling like when you're running up the stairs after turning the basement light off. We pick up speed as much as we can without breaking into a sprint, knowing the ice cream shop is only about a minute walk away at this point. The path soon breaks and we are in the parking lot. Suddenly Marie steers me hard to the left, heading towards the lake and the boat.